Jojo?
Good.
Yeah? You ready to go VBS?
Uh-huh.
Hey, let's go. Come on.
Okay.
Jump up.
I'll shoot.
Summertime. How fast you can run in the car? Ready? Go. That's fast. Story time. This is Clint, Small Time Creative. If this is your first time, thanks for joining us. I want to tell you a story today about this incredibly cool School of Rock looking bass. I've been married almost 15 years to my beautiful wife, Lauren, and we have 3 boys. And I married into a wonderful family, my father-in-law, Mike, and my mother-in-law, Susan. This awesome, really cool bass was my mother-in-law, Susan. It was her dad's, and she gave it to me several years ago to use and to play, and it's already been on several Spring Creek Worship recordings, and hopefully will be on many more. But I kind of wanted to tell the story about this bass because it's super cool. So, my mother-in-law Susan, her family used to travel as a Pentecostal Christian singing and music group. And this bass was her dad's, and it has a really cool story, really cool history behind it. So like I said, they were singers, and they traveled and sang and played music for many years. My mother-in-law told me that her dad got this bass before she was born. She's the youngest of, let's see, she's the second to the youngest of 6. Anyways, her dad got this bass before she was born. So this was her dad's bass, and her family used it when they traveled, singing and leading worship in churches. And I was asking her the other day about it, what she knew, and she said she knows that her dad had it before he was born. She's the second to youngest of 6 kids, and she was telling me how at one point her parents had sent some of the older siblings when they were old enough, and her brother was old enough to drive. They lived in Oklahoma. No, they lived in Stinnett, Texas, and they sent their kids to a music school in Kentucky. And she was telling me that that's where her family had met the Gaithers, had some connection to them. And her oldest brother Ricky was a part of a TV special with the Gaithers. So this thing has some history, and I just really wanted to tell the story of this because it's special to me to have it. To be a part of a family who served in ministry many years, and now this thing is part of my family as well, and is being used for ministry. This thing is so cool. It is what I believe is a 1964-ish Gibson SG Bass, and this thing is crazy light. It's small. It's like a short scale type bass. You can see the word Gibson. You see where it says Gibson there. It's a Gibson SG type bass. They might have been called something different, but that's how I know it as. It's got the same SG type shape, and I just think this thing is the coolest. It's got one humbucker pickup in it, and just 2 volume controls, a volume knob, and a tone knob. And anyways, so her family used this when they traveled. This bass and another guitar that's hanging on my wall as well, that was her brother Ricky's. But her dad played this bass, and after they had stopped traveling, the story that I've heard is he loaned this to a friend who took this bass and She was telling me the other day after they had stopped traveling, he had looked at selling it. He thought about selling it, and his wife, Warren's grandma, Patsy, said, "No, don't sell it. Just keep it." So he kept it, and one time he loaned it to a friend, and that friend took it and played it, from my understanding, at a bar gig. And at the end of the night, something happened, and it was tipped over. It's got a crack right there. I don't know if you can see the crack. Right about here. It's a big crack. It basically split the headstock in half. And anyway, so he took it and he got it fixed. Got it all fixed up, and then it sat in a case, in the case. Unfortunately, his name was Gip, but he passed away, and never played it again after it got fixed. So sat in a case underneath the bed for many years, and at some point my mother-in-law, my sweet mother-in-law Susan, got it, and several years ago, probably about 6 or 7 years ago, she gave it to me, and said, "I want you to have this. I want you to hold on to it. You can never sell it," which I would never want to sell it. But I want you to use it, play it. And I'm not really a good bass player. I can put a capo on it, and I can find my way around. That's so frowned upon, putting a capo on a bass, but I can do it, and I've done it. Anyways, so when I got it, it didn't have strings on it. Actually didn't even have the tuners on it. Actually had none of the hardware on it. So took it to my local guitar shop, Gary B's, and my friend Tony put it back together for me and got it playing again. And man, now it's just so cool. I keep it right over here in my guitar boat, ready to play. We've used it to record some stuff, and plan on using it many more times. It just sounds beautiful, and so today I thought I would hook it up, show you how it sounds. I'll pretend to play the bass. I don't know. So, but I just wanted to tell this story. It's so cool to have a family heirloom like this. I feel so grateful to be entrusted. Even though I'm married into the family, I love the family, and so grateful to the Isbell family and their legacy and their kids. We're following Jesus and loving the Lord, and so yeah, so cool. So this is my 1964-ish Gibson SG Bass, and yeah, so let's play it up and see how it sounds. Okay, so I'm not gonna do a screen recording today. I'm just going to let you hear bass to the speakers. I'm gonna plug this up to my Universal Audio Apollo Twin and plug it in, see how it sounds. Cool, so I'm gonna do a couple things real quick. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play this through the Apollo preamp, which is what I'm doing. Right now I'm playing it just through a stock Apollo, the 610B plugin that it comes with. Yeah. Yeah, you can just see, just sounds so good. I'm I'm just playing random chords. It just sounds so smooth and warm, and this is just through just a regular preamp on the Apollo interface in a console. Just sounds so good. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in this Ampeg. Again, this is another stock plugin that comes with the Apollo Twin. This is a bass amp plugin. It's an Ampeg modeled amp, bass amp head, I guess, and just sounds so good. I thought I would play just a little bit through it. Let's see here. Yeah, so it just sounds so smooth and incredible through this bass amp. I thought I would do one more thing. Turn the volume up just a little bit. I want to make sure you can hear. I'm going to add in a compressor. My go-to compressor is the Universal Audio LA2A. I like the gray one. It's my favorite. So I'm going to turn up the peak reduction. That may be a little too much. It's that compressor's kicking in, smoothing out that signal, and this thing just so cool. So anyways, so that's the story behind this bass. If you see it in our videos, it's a just this really awesome 1964 Gibson. I say 64. Someday I will find out the exact year. And if you wonder if it's real or not, it does have the serial numbers right here, but there's one that's really hard to tell what number it is, because the crack in the headstock is right in that area, kind of over that last number. So I don't know who fixed this thing, but they did just a phenomenal job. And I was really worried of what it would sound like, how it would do, how the headstock would hold up, putting strings on it. But it's just done so good, and it's been super usable. We've been able to use it for recordings, and so I love this bass and love the story behind it. I love that I get to use it in our recordings, and it's a really special thing to me to be entrusted with something like this. And so I'm thankful for my sweet mother-in-law. I said this earlier, the Isbell family, and I'm just grateful. So Wanted to tell this story because, you know, there's some things you just can't put a price on and the history of this guitar is just priceless, and so cool. If you have a family heirloom like this, you've got a guitar that's just sitting around, that maybe was a family member's, take it to your guitar store, get it fixed up, and I promise you'll find magic in it. And I love picking up old guitars and playing them. You don't have to have the newest, fanciest guitars to create music. This is what Small Town Creative is all about, is taking the things that God blesses us with and using them, and this is one of them for me. So I hope you're having a great week. I know this was kind of a different video. Next week we'll do something totally different. I'm not sure. I said that like I was gonna, say, oh yeah, next week we're gonna talk about, I don't know what we're gonna talk about next week. But tune in next week as we talk more about what it means to be small town creative. As we do more gear reviews and tutorials. Can't wait to share more with you. And do me a favor, like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know some of the things that you'd like to see, or if you have any questions about anything. Love you guys. Hope you have a great week. Go create something this week, and enjoy the space that God has given you to create. See you next week. Peace out.